জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী, জয় রাধা মাধব, জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী, গোপীজন বল্লভ গিরিবরধারী, গোপীজন বল্লভ গিরিবরধারী, যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন, যমুনা তীর বনচারী, জয় রাধা মাধব, জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে, জয় জগন্নাথ, জয় বলদেব, জয় সুভদ্রা, জয় গৌরনিতাই, জয় গৌরনিতাই, জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ, জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ, নিতাই গৌর হরি বল, নিতাই গৌর হরি বল। Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, so we will first read from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, and after that we will recite and discuss one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I am sharing the screen to read from Prabhupada Lilamrita. Just allow me a few seconds. So I'm reading from Prabhupada Lilamrita, where it was ended yesterday. It is chapter 44, and the heading of this chapter, Let There Be a Temple. Prabhupada could not bear to hear that such an important festival as Radha Yatra was being stopped. We shall abide by the rules, he said, but we must have this festival. They saw last year that in the open sunshine, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people stood in Trafalgar Square for 3 hours, and they do not go to the church. So they have seen there is something. Otherwise, how people have taken so much interest. Brahmananda Swami, yes, just like in the San Francisco paper, they admitted this is the most popular festival. Prabhupada, yes, 15,000 people attended my lecture silently in San Francisco. So they are seeing there is something in the movement. But sometimes some parties do not want us to go on without objection, or else they will be finished. On the day of Prabhupada's departure from Los Angeles, he addressed the assembled devotees in the temple, encouraging them to remain faithful in Krishna consciousness, and he revealed his own feelings of urgency. His constant traveling was for the disciples so they would remain strong. And if they remain strong following the simple programs he had given them, then their success was guaranteed. Some way or other, he said, We have introduced this program in the Western countries, and you are so intelligent, you have very soon captured it. So stick to the standard, then your life is successful. It is not at all difficult, but don't deviate. Then you are pakka. Pakka means solid. Mam evo e prapoddante mayamayetam tarantite. If you remain solid in Krishna consciousness, then Maya will not touch you. So that is my request. I'm traveling all over the world. I'm going to see how things are going in Dallas and New Vrindavan. So my touring is natural. I have started the movement. I want to see that it is going nicely. Do not deviate, and this is my only request. Prabhupada began to cry and simply concluded, then you will remain solid. Thank you very much. So I'm stopping here. Hare Krishna. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु शृण्वतां शपथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुरीक्षताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवते नैष्टिकी. So today we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2 and verse number 7. The heading of this canto is The Prescribed Duties of Mankind, and the heading of this chapter, Ajamilo delivered by Vishnu Dutas. So I'm sharing the screen. Allow me a few seconds to share the screen. So I'm reading chapter Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2 and verse number 7. Ayang hi krito nirbesho janma kutyam hasamopi jad bejaharo vibosho namo shastayanang hare. Ayam hi krito nirbesho janma kutyam hasamopi jad bejaharo vibosho namo shastayanang hare. Ayam hi krito nirbesho janma kotyam hasamopi jad bejaharo vibesho namo shastayanang hare. So any of the devotees who wants to recite can please do it now.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Ayam hi krito nirbesho janma kotyam hasamupi yad vyajaharo vivasho nama shastayanam hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, I am also trying.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please.
Ayang hi krito nirbesho janma kottam hasham api yad vajaharo vivasho nam sastayanam hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other devotees wants to recite? Otherwise, we're moving to the synonyms in that case.
I'll try, Prabhu. Synonyms.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I am this person, Ajamila. He, indeed, Krita Nirvesha. He has undergone all kinds of atonement. Janma of births, Koti of millions, Amhasam for the sinful activities, Api even, yet because Vyajahara, he has chanted, Vivasha in a helpless condition, Nama, the holy name, Prasti Ayanam, the means of liberation, Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any of the devotees wants to please read the translation? Any of the devotees can please read on this translation?
I can read Prabhu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ajamila has already atoned for all his sinful actions. Indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, he chanted the holy name of Narayana. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So, any of the devotees, can
May-
any of the devotees please read the purport, please?
Hare
yes, please.
Krishna.
Yes, carry on, Mataji.
No, Mataji, please carry on, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Purport, the Yamadutas had considered only the external situation of Ajamila. Since he was extremely sinful throughout his life, they thought he should be taken to Yamaraj and did not know that he had become free from the reactions of all his sins. The Vishnudutas therefore instructed that because he had chanted the 4 syllables of the name Narayana at the time of his death, he was free from all sinful reactions. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following verses from the Smriti Shastra. Namno hi yavati shakti papa nirharane hare tavat kartum na shaknoti patakam pataki naraha. Simply by chanting the one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reactions to more sins than he is able to commit. Brihad Vishnu Puran. अवाशेनापि यन्नाम्नि कीर्तिते सर्वपातकैः पुमान् विमुच्यते सद्यः सिंहत्रष्टैर्मृगैरिव. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reactions of a sinful life depart. Just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. Garuda Puran. Sakrit uccaritam yena harit ityaksharadvayam baddhaparikarastena mokshaya gamanam prati. By once chanting the holy name of the Lord, which consists of the 2 syllables Hari, one guarantees his path to liberation. Skanda Purana. These are some of the reasons why the Vishnudutas objected to the Yamadutas taking Ajamila to the court of Yamaraj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namo Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupo Padamayam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sita Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Nitam Tam Sajivam Shaddaitam Shabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahavana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Bindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavunebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Prabhu Padanugami Sri Shiva Goswamine Sada Dunyashili Shivagdaya Sarvajiva Kripabdve Guru Shiksha Sadachara Palakaya Namastute Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshotarine Namo Mahavadanayo Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namo Mukam Karoti Vachalam Kvangum Langayate Girim Jatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Siguru Dinotaranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you all in this morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I offer my Dandavat Pranam to all of you. I also thank those all for whom I am able to speak here today. Although I am not qualified, still I am doing this service because I've been instructed to undertake this service, and it has given me an opportunity to purify myself. I thank you all, the devotees here today, and beg for your mercy. Please bless me so that by your mercy I can contribute something to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to glorify Lord Sri Krishna in the mission of Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON and my Guru Maharaj. Now, a brief background of this verse. In this chapter, we find that the messengers from Vaikuntha or Vaikuntha Dutas explain to the Jamadutas the glories of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The Vishnu Dutas earlier said that now impious acts are being performed I mean, in this chapter, a few verses earlier, it was told that now impious acts are being performed even in the assembly of devotees for a person who is not punishable, and he is being punished, or is going to be punished in the assembly of the Jamaraja. And they were comparing that the mass of people are helpless and generally depend upon the government for their safety and security. But if the government takes advantage of this to harm the citizens, well, this normal citizens should go. And we see perfectly that they are telling that we see perfectly that Ajamilo should not be punished, although you are attempting to take him to Yamadutas or punishment. So, in this particular verse, the Vishnudutas are continuing their arguments, and they are telling that they are telling that Ajamila has already atoned for his sinful actions. In fact, Oyam hi krito nirbesho, that means he has already atoned for the sins he has committed. And in fact, janma koitam hosamupi. And indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in his one life, but for performs whatever sin he has committed for millions and millions of life. Jod Bejoharo, because he has chanted Vibosho, Namo Shastoyananghare. He has chanted the holy name of the Lord without offense or in a helpless condition, without any offense, and therefore he is eligible for liberation. In other words, he is telling the arguments of the Vishnudutas are that Ajamilo cannot be taken by the Jamodutas because he is now free from all sinful activities, and and the Jamdutas cannot take him to the kingdom of Jamraj, to the Jamraj, for taking him to Jamraj for punishment. So we see that Vishnudutas declared, they are declaring that this man, although he was sinful in his past life, but now he is cleared of all sinful reaction. And not only that, how clean he is, he has uttered the holy name of the Narayan without any offense. And he has not uttered it artificially, but he has automatically from his heart, he has done it. And Bibosho, the word Bibosho is also mentioned in the verse. And Shastanam, to chant the holy name of the Lord means is all auspiciousness. Everything, all sinful thing goes away when we chant the holy name of the Lord. Now, this name, another thing in this regard, Prabhupada has often clarified it, and just as it's not very important, but we should mention it here. And this word, what he has chanted, now, the verse says that Hore, the name of the Lord. And generally, we the devotees have no problem, but the Mayavadi people have often considers that the chanting the name of the Lord or any other demigod is all right. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, anything is all right. But it is not, which our acharyas say, this is not correct. We do not accept it in our devotion. And Prabhupada has taught us, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also taught us that we consider the personal form of the Lord, and Bhagavan is different from the demigods. His position is far, far higher. And in fact, it is considered as Namaporad when we take the demigod as equal to that of the Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in fact, when we chant in the morning, when we chant the holy name, the Lord, 16 rounds or more, whatever we do in the early morning, it is one of the Namaparad where it is considered, when we consider, it is one of the offenses declared within the 10 offenses, that if one considers the name of a demigod like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is an offense. So, but other names of the Lord, like Lord Rama, Lord Madhava, Lord Hari, Lord Govinda, they are all the same. They are Vishnu Tattva. But the demigods are not Vishnu Tattva. We have to understand that. Of course, there are different tattva. Vishnu tattva is there, Vishnu Shakti tattva is there, Jiva tattva is there. But we have to keep the distinction clear that the name of the Lords we are referring here is Vishnu tattva. It is not any other demigod we are considering here, or what we should all ever think of it. Any demigod equal to that of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, here it is then or in the present age of Kali, it is mentioned that the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the only way to do devotional service to the Lord. There is no other way. In fact, Hare Namo, Hare Namo, Hare Namo Ibo Kevalam, Kolo Nastebo, Nastebo, Nastebo Gotiranata. It is told that in the present age, there is no other way of devotional service other than chanting the holy name of the Lord, because that is the most appropriate for this age. It is not that the other things cannot be done, but it is the most appropriate and the most ideal for this age. And this is the direction given to us by particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has told us that in the present, this is the only thing we should do, and that is the only way by which we can get the highest destination, Param, the highest stage of devotional service we can attain by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And we should not deviate from this process. In fact, there are other process. There are other process to start with. Like one can do karma yoga, one can do jnana yoga, one can do Ashtanga yoga. All these things one can do. One can start with. This may be stage 1, stage 2. We can say like a staircase of a big building. There are different steps: step 1, step 2, step 3. In this way, karma yoga one can start with, and then jnana yoga, then Ashtanga yoga. This way they can do that. But ultimately, one has come to the stage of bhakti yoga for the highest perfection, because only through bhakti yoga one can connect to the Supreme Lord in person. And yoga means all these things. These are the process: karma yoga, jnana yoga. Yoga means way to connect. Yoga means connection, and yoga means disconnection. So anyway, we are trying to connect to the Lord. It is good that one can do that, but unless one comes to that stage of bhakti yoga, he cannot attain the supreme perfection or the perfection of life. And that is why in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned, Bhunam Janamam Te Gyanavan Maham Prabodhate. The Jnana Yoga comes to the stage of Bhakti Yoga only after spending so many years of his devotional service. Then he comes to the stage that when he understands that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that means the Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the supreme. He is the absolute truth. They come to this stage after many, many millions of life, because we are, so long we remain in this material world, we are taking bodies one after another, and we are trying to undergoing changes. And ultimately, when we get the body of a human being, we have the opportunity to do devotional service. Otherwise, we do not do that. Even when we do our devotional service, there are various processes, but ultimately, it is the perfection of only when we achieve it, it is through devotional service. And so devotional service is the highest, and that is what is being highlighted from this verse also. And in fact, Krishna has told that by doing only through devotional service, one can attain Krishna. And when one comes to this stage that Krishna is everything, then only we can surrender to Krishna, and only by surrendering to Krishna we can achieve the highest of our devotional service. And in Bhagavad Gita also, in verse number 1866, Sri Krishna is canvassing personally. Krishna said that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Bhaja, that we are only by surrendering to him, leaving aside all other all other dharma, or the character or bodily platform of the different dharma, we have to give up and surrender to Krishna. This is Krishna's ultimate instruction to all of us. And in various places, Krishna has told it, we have to surrender it. So we can surrender ultimately, but because it is Krishna's instruction. Who is Krishna? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is telling us to surrender to him, and he is asking us to surrender. And only when we surrender to him, he will free us from all sort of problems. And Mahasuja, and you have not to worry about anything. If you surrender to me, and I will free you from all your sufferings. And when you surrender to me, I will I'll free you from all your miseries. But he's asking us to surrender, but people are not surrendering. That is the problem. Because why they are not surrendering? They have not proper faith on that. That they have, although Krishna is saying the highest personality of Godhead, he's saying, but people have not got the proper, have doubt, and it is the doubt, that is why we are not, I mean, those who are not surrendering, they have doubt about the Krishna's word also. And some is thinking, maybe Krishna is saying it may happen, or maybe may or may not happen. This depends upon the faith of the individual, and depending on the faith, the Shraddha, or the faith, the devotional devotion, so long the more is the faith, the more is the devotional service. The devotional service depends on the faith of the individual, and it is told that Jadrishi Shraddha, Tadrishi Bhakti. That whatever is the extent of our faith, that is the stage of our devotion also, depending on that. And in fact, the faith is based on the belief that, and here it is said that what Ajamilo did, Ajamilo has, here in this stage it is stated that he was Bibosh, he was not doing it of his, in artificially, he was doing from his core of his heart. And in fact, Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse where it says, Shraddha Shakti Vishwas Kohe, Shudrir Nishchay, Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. So when we do devotional service for the Lord, that is all we have to do. We have to bring that faith within within us, and that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us a direction, that when we consider that by serving Lord Krishna through our devotional service, we have done everything what is needed. For all other things are secondary. If we can do that, then we can have perfection in our devotional service, and then we can properly surrender to the Lord properly. And he has given us an assurance that he will give us protection from all sinful reaction, whatever we have done. So there should not be any doubt in that case. But there is doubt always, and that is in fact the defect of the individual. That defect means the ignorance. That is called the ignorance or the defect of an individual, because they are thinking it may happen or it may not happen. And Krishna is always stressing on to the point that we have to make unquestionable faith on him. Only one who has been able to do that, he can have he is a perfect person for attaining perfection in devotional service. But if we are doubtful, then our devotional service stops at certain pages. We cannot advance based on. And in fact, I remember that in Bhagavad Gita, I think in last chapter, chapter 18 and verse number 69, yes, 68, it is told that Bhakti moing para kritva mam evasyashi asangshaya. Asangshaya, the word is asangshaya, means without doubt. So that means you do this without any doubt, and rest assured you will certainly come to me. Mam evasyashi, you will come to me. And asangshaya, it is without any doubt. But still we have doubt. In a similar way, Krishna has again mentioned in another place that we have to be free from this doubt that by doing Krishna service, by doing Krishna service, we will be liberated from all our sins in this material world, and we can go back to the Godhead. And it is in verse number 7.1 also it says, Moi asoktamana partho yogam junjan modasrayo asangshayam samagram jatha veshashi tatsrino. Here also asangsham. Asangsham means without doubt. You hear what I am saying without doubt. So Krishna is telling that when we are hearing his words, we should be without doubt that what he is saying is perfect and it will take effect. In a similarly, about free from doubt, Krishna is another place instructed us that that mon mona bhavo mad bhakto mad jaji mam namaskuru mam evoshashi yukto ivatmanam mat parayana. You will surely come to me, but just have faith on me. But, and in fact, this is what he is saying, that you offer obeisances unto me, you worship me, and being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me. But we have those who do not, that we do not develop, we have not developed it yet. That is why we are having doubt about Krishna's words. And that we must say that is, in one sense, it is our misfortune. Otherwise, Prabhupada has said in different places that to go back to Godhead or to back to our home or go back to our Godhead, which is the same thing, it is easy, provided we accept Krishna's version as it is without change. And when the Lord comes to this material world, I mean to this world, to teach us how to bestow our mercy on the fallen souls, he comes to this material world and is very clearly says that that there is no other person or there is no one in any direction, in any field, who is superior to Krishna. It says that there is no other better positive truth than myself. But still we do not believe. That is our misfortune. But this man, Ajamila, although he did not know what he is doing, but very faithfully he claimed, he chanted. And in the verse it is still Bivosho. Bivosho means without any hesitation. And he was he was in fact being forced from the core of his heart. He was feeling helpless and he chanted in that way. So Prabhupada often says that, and also Acharya, I think Rupa Goswami has also told the same thing, that if we chant, I mean, jeno teno prakarena, if we chant without committing any offense, the holy name of the Lord, then we become liberated. And this is the purpose of this Ajamila Bhakya. Because again, referring to the verse again, Vayam hi krito nirbesho. This person, Vayam means this person, he is krito nirbesho. Nirbesho means atonement. This man has done all atonement. How? Because he has, although in his past life he has committed so many, I mean throughout his life he has committed so many sins, but he has atoned for it. And otherwise, what happened? If he has not done chanted the holy name of the Lord, otherwise he would have been taken to by the Jamadutas for punishment. What he has done, it is bad. But because he has chanted the holy name of the Lord, he has become freed from the sinful reaction, and reaction not only of this present birth, but all his previous birth has been atoned for, or he is freed from all that. And just in the Vedic system, there is a word called prayaschitta. But prayaschitta, as it has been discussed in this forum, I mean on the story of Ajamila, that it is not perfect in certain sense, but people do it. There is a provision in the Vedic system that one can atone for a particular sin, and in this way he can get rid of that. But that is not perfect in the sense, because that does not clear a person from the from his desire to do commit of in future. So proclivity to commit offense, that it doesn't go. But when he chants the holy name of the Lord, that is so powerful that can destroy the desire for proclivity to commit sins. So that is why by chanting the holy name of the Lord is the best way for atonement. And in fact, in Hori Bhakti Vilas, there is mentioned that if a devotee, for any reason, he falls down for some reason, if he chants his atonement means he has to chant the holy name of the Lord again, but in a perfect way. He's try to do his devotional service by chanting the holy name of the Lord, and if he does that, that is the atonement for a devotee. And devotee has not to do any other karmakanda sort of atonement that is provided in the Vedic literature. And now the question is, the Jamuditas are, next question, Jamuditas are saying how he has become, how he has done Krito Nirbesha, or he has done atonement, he has completed his sin atonement. And because if we consider the amount of sin he has committed throughout his life, that there is no limit of his sinful activities. And yet the Jamdudasa is now telling that yet you are telling he has cleared everything immediately. And so not only of this life, but of all sinful activities, how it happened. And so one doesn't know even how many life he has spent, and what is the result of his previous reactions. But here, because he has, because we do not know how many times he has taken birth previously, and what is the result of his accumulated sin he has committed in this. But because he has done it in a helpless condition, and he has come to the conclusion, he has come, any person who has come to the conclusion that the Lord is, Krishna is the ultimate person, and if he prays to him helplessly, he is cleared of all his sinful activities. And here, the name of the Lord and the sound incarnation of the Lord and the Lord is non-different. Although Jamilo has not, while doing it, he did not do it properly, but that is the power of the holy name of the Lord. And in fact, one may question why it is possible that such a powerful is the holy name, and that a person who has suffered, committed sin for millions and millions of his lives, how it goes away by properly chanting the holy name of the Lord only once, properly. And in this regard, Sridhar Swami, he has given a very good example for how a person is cleared of his sinful reaction for millions of life by chanting holy name of the Lord perfectly only once. He told that taking in a mundane way, we can understand in this way. If we consider a place which is dark for millions and millions of years, let us take an example. Inside a cave, suppose, where the sunlight cannot go could not enter. So long inside the cave, the sunlight didn't enter for millions of years, or maybe thousands, whatever it is. But when one flashes a light inside that place, dark place, how long it takes to get it illuminated? It illuminated immediately. Not because it was dark for millions of years. Does not take for the light to illuminate that place. It doesn't take years or hours or like that. Immediately, just as when a light is flashed, it immediately gets illuminated. In a similar way, whatever darkness we had, or whatever we can say darkness, here is our sinful reactions. Whenever we chant the holy name of the Lord, or Lord is so powerful that he can eliminate all these accumulated sins by a fraction of a second. So that is the power of the Lord. And we have to understand that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Lord is so powerful that he can destroy the sin immediately. And that faith we have to inculcate. And in this way, if we do our devotional service, we can ultimately reach that. We can get the mercy of the Lord. And that is the way. That is the way devotional service. One has to do devotional service so that he can get free from all his sinful reaction. If we have that faith, the Lord will help us. And that's why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaj mamekam saranam bhaja. Krishna says that even out of, our acharyas have told, even out of sentiment, if one take to Krishna consciousness, believing that Krishna Krishna will save him, then he is relieved from his sinful reaction. And there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, this Takta Sadharmam Charanam Bhujam Hare. It is said that if by sentiment one takes to Krishna consciousness, by taking from Sadharmam, from his own, then he has got his occupational duty. Maybe he is a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or whatever it is. He has some particular duty. But Vishnu says there is no need of executing of all this obligation. Simply surrender to Krishna and he will save us from that. He will save us from his from all our accumulated sins or in whatever way. We can see in this way example of Prabhupada, as Prabhupada was able to do it in the life of Prabhupada. When he went to USA and subsequently Europe and other places, he has, based on his call to surrender to Krishna, a lot of Europeans and American disciples surrendered by the words of Krishna, by the word of Srila Prabhupada, has surrendered to Krishna, and they have made their life perfect. And they were Jewish, they were Christians, but they have been they have been able to get rid of all their accumulated sins simply by surrendering to by following the instruction of a spiritual master. So, of course, there are some cases where there are some people who have fallen up even after that. But what is the wrong in there? At least some person has been purified and become perfect disciple, and they are now stalwarts in our movement. So, if some of them have fallen, so we should not take it as a failure in the sense, because whatever little one has done in devotional service, whatever devotional service has done, it never gets rejected, and because if he has not completed it, generally it is mentioned in our in chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita that if a devotee who has not been able to perfect himself in this life, and he is normally born in his subsequent life, if he has not been able to complete his devotional service, in his next life he is born in a family of rich, or a Brahmana family, or a pious family, so that he can start his devotional service from that place where he has ended this from his previous life. And in this way, he gets an opportunity to advance further. In other words, whatever devotional service one has done, he has advanced up to that stage in this life, and from his next life, he can continue from there. So, in other words, he has completed some of his devotional service to some extent, and if we compare them as against those who are successful in material life but have not done any devotional service, they do not know what is the fate of their life after. What is their fate after this life? What body they will get? They don't know. Though they may be very important person in this present life, but they do not know what is their future. what is their next life. They do not know that. So that way, even someone is fallen while by taking shelter of the Lord, and he has failed. I mean, he has failed after that. He is not a failure in the sense he has partially advanced, as against those who have not taken up the Krishna consciousness or devotional service. They have not advanced at all. So that is the reason why taking Krishna consciousness is always an advantage, and it is not. It is never a failure in any sense of the term. And that is why in the verse it is told that bhajana upako, it says that even if a person is not completed it, he has attained some success as against those who has not taken it. And in fact, when we do devotional service, do your devotional service, we only advance. And if we do it properly, under the instruction of our spiritual master, having faith on what he has told, then we can advance properly, and by the blessing of, and we remain in association with the devotees, our devotional service gradually gets perfect, and ultimately we can go back to Godhead. We can be assured of that when we do follow the instruction of our spiritual master. And in fact, satisfaction of Krishna means satisfaction of the spiritual master, because spiritual master is ultimately the representative of the Lord, and he is the direct representative for us, for the Supreme Lord. So when we follow his instruction and we're able to and he is satisfied the way we are doing our devotional service according to the instruction he has given us in association with the devotees, we can be rest assured that our perfection is guaranteed when we follow the instruction of his spiritual master. And when we satisfy the spiritual master, Krishna is pleased, and in this way our devotional service gets perfect. And in this present age in particular, the devotional service, as I have mentioned in the first part of it, that devotional service devotional service in the present age is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. That is mentioned. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally recommended that when we do that, and the Nam Sankirtan, Holy Nam Sankirtan, he is called the father of Jag Nam Sankirtan. So he has introduced it, and he told that everything in Chaitanya Bhagavad, there is a verse where it is mentioned that whatever the সাধ্য সাধন তত্ত্ব যে কিছু সকল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে মিলিবে সকল. That means when we by congregationally we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and that will achieve everything, that is the goal of life as well as the means of attaining it. Shadha means the goal which we want to achieve, that is the love of Godhead. Without the love of Godhead, the life is a failure. But what is the process to achieve it? By chanting the holy name of the Lord. So when we do that, when we chant the holy name of the Lord, it will ensure that by our devotional service we can achieve perfection. And in fact, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, our Acharya, spiritual master of our Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he has told that love of Krishna is the Shadha. That is what we want to achieve. And congregational chanting of the names of Krishna is the sadhana. Any questions that may arise in that regard can be resolved only by chanting the name of Krishna. And the uselessness of insignificant desires of sense enjoyers, fruity workers, and mental speculator is easily realized by persons who are under the shelter of the holy names through the process of Sankirtana. In other words, whatever the fruity workers and the mental speculators they are trying to achieve, that is inferior than chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is the prescribed way of devotional service in the present days, in this age of Kali Yuga. And if we remember that, in fact, Krishna, ISKCON is telling everyone to take shelter of Krishna consciousness. If we improve our consciousness from material level to the Krishna, to the spiritual level, that is possible only by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And if we do it properly, it can elevate us from the present and from the bodily platform to the spiritual platform, and ultimately by achieving perfection, we can attain the goal of our human life that we have received after many cycles of birth and death. So the best way to make it perfect is to perfect our devotional service and go back to Godhead. And in this way, we can make our life successful. So in fact, this verse is ultimately telling us about the power of the holy name, and which is non-different from the Lord, and that is the essence of the Ajamila's story, Ajamila's Upakhana, or the story. And this is what is my realization. If anybody has any other comments to make, or any question, or any realization, whatever it is, you can please make it, and I'm happy to hear from you. And if you have any, I have committed any mistake, please, I'm happy to hear from all of you. Please, I'm happy to hear and correct myself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavata.
Dandot Pranam. Thank you very much for wonderful class and quotes from various sources on the glories of the holy name. Very wonderfully you have illustrated the power of the holy name. Thank you for that. Prabhuji, I think one of the points you were highlighting throughout the talk was the main challenge. The power is there. The power is there. It's there. The main challenge is the doubt in our own mind, which leads us not to obtain the maximum benefit of this holy name. So, just wanted to understand from you, Prabhu, how to overcome this doubt, which is ever prevailing in the mind.
Prabhuji, in a simple way, what I have understood, I mean, in a simple term, it is that if we try to make our chanting perfect, that will perfect us. I mean, that is what my Guru Maharaj has told. We have told that often, and other thing is that it will not happen one day, Prabhu, because it is a continuous. What we are as of now is an accumulation of what we have done in the past life as well. So by doing our devotional service, we are gradually getting cleared, and we should not expect sudden jump and immediately get our goal. So we have to continuously strive continuously with our best effort we should give, and by and gradually we are purifying. If my Guru Maharaj often tell this question, I'm just repeating here, that you just think of yourself, Prabhu, when you started it, before coming to Krishna consciousness, and as of now, I'm sure you will realize that you have progressed a lot, and that doesn't require any further explanation. So that is the progress, and in this way we have to utilize our best opportunities and go on striving to do that, and that will ensure us, and the Krishna will take care of the rest. And another thing is that some people thinks that they will do it immediately, and as a result they started with so much vigor that they cannot keep it and ultimately falls down. So if we steadily go on what our spiritual masters have told, because Prabhupada has told that this is the authorized process. So which we are all engaged in. So if we do it sincerely, with the passage of time, we will advance, and we should not have doubt on that. if we have, and the doubt will go with the chanting process itself. It is a purifying process, Prabhu. It is sadhan and the shadda at the same time. So by chanting, we are getting purified, and that faith will come to us through chanting only, Prabhu. This is my realization, which I have heard from my good spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for. So the knowledge will automatically come when we practice the devotional service. That is, that knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Because the faith is, our faith is not strong because we are not that pure as yet.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
just in this regard, Prabhu, just as a supplement to, supplement, no, I'm just referring another, as Rupa Goswami has told, that the name Krishna is so attractive and so beautiful that I have only one mouth and 2
Yeah.
ears to
Yes.
hear that. But so if I had millions of mouth and millions of ears to hear that, so it is his realization, because he is elevated, he is so pure. So he understands it so much that he says that I should have millions of ears and millions of mouth to speak and hear the beautiful name, the bliss of Lord Krishna. But we are not realizing that much bliss by chanting the Hare Krishna, because we are not that pure. Gradually, with the passage of time, we will purify and we will realize. And it will not come one day, which is, I'm just repeating what I have heard from my spiritual master.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for clarifying.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanvar Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhu, you said people start where they finish their devotional service in the past life.
Yes.
So how does this, there are a lot of other devotees, they Sai Baba, Shiva and all other demigods.
Yeah.
So which means they have never did Krishna bhakti or devotional service in their past life. So we are very, very fortunate to be in this, isn't it? So can you a little bit explain on?
Yes, surely, Prabhu. Prabhu, it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Prabhupada has so many times he has told, Krishna je behore shebhara chatur. In the sense, he is this verse is told with that intention, that one who has come to the stage of who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, two things has happened. One is, if he has realized that Krishna is the ultimate God or the Supreme Lord, and he has realized it, and he is now engaged in the service of the Lord. So that way, that is the highest things he has already achieved. And now the question is whether he has achieved it of his own or all that. The one who has come to this stage, he has already received the mercy of the Lord. And because all of us, we are chanting the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, we are in the process of doing it. We are in that way, we have already got the blessings of the Lord. And that is why you are able to do that. If you look outside, Prabhu, you will see that very few people are in this. Even when this is a Bhagavatam class, and not my one, I am not that a good speaker. But if you see any place where Bhagavad Katha is going on, Bhagavad Gita is going on, very few people are there. What does it indicate? They are lucky people in the sense, but how many people outside are there? Millions of people. They do not hear it. So that way we are lucky that we are hearing it. We are definitely have the blessings of the Lord. And but they do not know that what their next life would be. They may be very good in their present position, but they do not know what they will become in the next life. You see their fate. Does it not indicate that we are lucky in that sense? Because human life is guaranteed for them, for us who are chanting the Hare Krishna, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So in this way, we are lucky, and those who are, as you are telling, that those who are worshipping the devotees, maybe because some people are there who are worshipping demigods with thinking that demigods are the god, demigods are like same. I think the Lord will one day give them the intelligence to understand that the difference between demigod and the supreme personality of Godhead, and one day they will realize, and because they are sincere in doing, if they are sincerely doing the service to the demigod also, they at one time they will come to the stage of Krishna consciousness. So they are a bit away, and they will come to the stage of Krishna consciousness one day. And in this way, if they are doing the devotional service, one day they will come to the creation of Krishna consciousness, which we are already doing. So that way we are advanced, and they are a bit behind. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, does it?
Yes, Prabhu, absolutely. Because Krishna has already said that, all the services, whatever you do, that are directly coming to me, indirectly coming to me. So whether you
Yes.
worship Shiva or Sai Baba, it comes to him ultimately. So then he gives the intelligence for that person to now promote himself to higher spirituality.
Because
Thank you, Prabhu.
ultimately, the demigods also, in course of time, if they are sincere, they are agents of the Supreme Lord. So when they find a sincere devotees of the Lord, particularly Lord Shiva, it is told that Lord Shiva is a great Vaishnava, in the sense, because if anyone sincerely approaches Lord Shiva, he can ultimately come to the Lord Krishna, because Lord Shiva sent him to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for him ultimately. And that is why there is a story also, if you know, that Sanatana Goswami was approached by one of the Shiva Bhakta, and he ultimately became a devotee of the Lord. So in this way, whoever is chanting sincerely trying to come to the Lord in one way or the other, the Lord will ultimately bless them, and they will come back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead one day. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Any of the devotees have any other questions? Or
There is one question from
One
Maria Mataji in the
chat box.
chat.
okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for lecture. If your doubts come from an app, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for this question. But the doubt comes when the behavior of individual. Please do not forget that wherever we are in this devotional service, we have come from different levels or different quarters. So it is natural, because they are in the different course of their journey toward the Supreme Lord. So some are advanced, some are still in the process of, some have already advanced a lot, some are still behind. So depending on that, so when we look the behavior of devotees, we understand we should not we should, as my spiritual master often says, we look on the good qualities of those devotees, and try to find out how we can take from advantage of that, instead of finding out the faults. Because in this Kali Yuga, the people you will not find anyone without fault, and that is rampant in Kali Yuga. This age of quarrel, it is told, and people are not only short-lived, small age, their lifespan is small, and they are misguided and unfortunate. So we should not look under the dark side of the things. Better we always look into the positive side, that by doing devotional service, how much advance they have made. And in this way, if we look that way, then we can, then our doubts, we can eradicate our doubt. Otherwise, what happens? There is no lack of faults in this present age. And if we look in the dark side, that will only bind us behind, and we cannot advance. Hare Krishna Mataji, does it answer your questions, Mataji? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Any other questions, Mataji? Prabhuji's and Mataji's? Oh, shit. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. There appears no other questions are there, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So there is no other question. Thank you, everybody, for listening me. So, thank you once again, because I'm unqualified still. I'm
Thank you.
speaking. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Vancha kalpataru.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद
वृंद
की
की
जय
जय His
ग्रेट
grace
अभय
Abhay
चरण
Charan
प्रभु
Prabhu
की
की
जय
जय
शिला
शिला
प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद
की
की
जय
जय.
शिवानंदे हरि
Hari
हरि
Hari
बोल
Bol.
all glory to assembled devotees
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
thank you very much
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.